Go live?
Mm,
Going live.
let's see. Because I'm on the video and it's just says still waiting.
Yes, it should be now. Are we live? Yes, we are live. Polyglots Talk. We live. We live.
Oh my god, we're live. Oh my gosh, wait.
How do you... Okay, I'm gonna share. It should be public, right? Embed. No. Share. Embed? Copy.
Oh, there we go.
Copy. Here we go. Hello everybody. Are you here, my dears?
Hi.
Hi. Write in chat hello so we know everything is okay. It should be.
Yes.
It should be. It should be. It should be. Live now. Live now. Sending links everywhere. Wait, should I send a embed? I'm trying to figure this out still with YouTube, I swear to God. Create post.
Yeah, no, YouTube is such a...
It's
I wish they made the platform easier to use, like, honestly.
Yeah, also I heard that a lot of people are moving over to YouTube from Twitch for some reason. So, hi Barbara.
Wait, to YouTube?
Älske. Yes.
Hi Barbara.
Hi.
Wait, from YouTube to Twitch? What did you say? Hi Älske.
Yes, from Twitch to YouTube. I don't know why.
What? Why would they do that?
It's so weird to me as well. Also.
Oh, hi Bryony.
Hi everybody. Can you guys tell us if audio is fine, if everything looks fine, so we can start. Wait a second. So we're still in the phase where we tell everybody.
Yes.
We'll tell everybody live now. And also I want to ping in my server because why not? Why not? Announcement. No, live streamer log. At everyone. Live now. And here we go. Anna is live now with Gladly Global. Anna.
Damn it, I can't figure out how to add the link. Story.
Send now. Perfect. Hey! Oh my god, so many people! Hi, Cody! It's been a while!
Oh,
Huzzah!
wow. Oh my god.
Audio is nice. Yes. Hi, following from Algeria. Oh wait, how do you say that in English?
Oh,
actually?
thank you so much.
Algeria. Thank you very much. Happy to have you
so
here.
Much.
Yes.
Welcome. Yes.
Welcome.
Amazing.
I came from the Discord server. Amazing. That's very nice. I'm happy to know
We
that
love to see it.
we love to see that the notifications actually attract people sometimes. It's good to know.
Yeah, I'm always worried about that, especially with the automatic ones where, like, as soon as you go live or something, you're like, are people actually gonna click the link? But it's nice to know that some people actually do.
Yes,
definitely.
Definitely appreciate it very much. I am trying to figure out how to look at the chat while I look at the live stream, just in case. By the way, how is everybody doing? Are you doing okay?
Yes, how?
My dears. Let me see.
Tell us, my dears. They're my dears.
Our dears. Our dears.
Our dears.
So,
we're so lame.
I swear to God, come over to the... I would say, like, because we are also kind of nerdy as well, so we are kind of awkward all the time.
Yes.
Don't worry. You think you're awkward?
Always.
You don't know.
You haven't seen.
You haven't
don't
seen
know
us
yet.
on a live stream. Yes, I'm also. Yeah, I was trying to have my chat like close to myself, but I cannot figure it out. So I guess we'll do it like this. Perfect.
I just have the stream open and muted, basically.
Yeah, no, okay, I figured it out. Amazing. We did it. Alright, guys, so today we're talking about consistency, which is like a very, very important topic in my opinion. I feel...
No, it's so important.
It's definitely very important because I feel like people don't talk about this enough and people don't realize that so many people struggle with it, I would say. I don't know what like.
Definitely.
Yep.
I do. I do.
Sure.
I don't know about anybody else.
Honestly,
No, it is a struggle, which makes it so frustrating because, like, you know how important it is, and yet it's so difficult to like keep up. So.
yes, I think also a lot of people are not very honest with it, which makes it like I feel so many people feel like I'm not enough. I would never be a real polyglot. I would never be a good language learner because I struggle with consistency. Instead, all these cool people on YouTube, they study so much, or on Instagram, I don't know, they study every day. And like we talked about this before, but what you see online is a lot of the time kind of made up. So even if you see,
no, there's definitely not enough transparency in the community. Or any community for that matter. Like basically anything you see online is like a highlight reel. It's like, and so you shouldn't, basically don't believe everything you see, which sounds very like anti sort of political correctness, or like, no, not anti-PC, but like the fact that like you shouldn't necessarily mistrust everything you see, but at the same time, like take it with a grain of salt. Don't expect everybody to perform this, like be up to the standard every day. Everybody has good days and bad days, and you shouldn't sort of get too obsessed on.
Yeah, no, I get it. Definitely the main thing is like don't feel bad about yourself because of it. And we're gonna do the real talk today, and I'm gonna start off by saying I'm not consistent, but I try. And this is and today we're gonna talk about how to fight your urge to procrastinate all the time. Let me read some comments in chat. I'm a girl. Okay, so I have fun learning different languages. I studied French, English, Arabic, Espanol, and now I studied Chinese and Italiano. Nice.
Wow,
So that's a lot of
languages.
languages. So when you say I studied,
So how do you keep consistent?
yes, that's. Please
Sorry?
write in chat. Are you a consistent person? Do you think you are? Do you struggle with it? Feel free to write in chat. I tell you, I struggle with it, and I think Elmo, we were talking about this before, but you were saying finally you found some consistency after years of not being able to, or something like that, right?
Yeah. I did. So the past few weeks, although this week it has gotten worse because me and Ray are roommates usually, but Ray has now gone back to Jamaica for like a couple of months to visit family and so on. So now I'm all on my own, which makes sort of staying accountable and consistent all the more difficult. At least for me, because I am very much dependent on sort of other people when it comes to staying consistent with studying and other things as well. So it's definitely something I struggle with. And so despite the fact that I finally, like a few weeks ago, was really like high, like top performance, like because it's something that I've really been struggling with for the past few years. Like really, I haven't really felt sort of passionate, or I felt kind of stuck. So I finally sort of overcame that, but then I've started slipping a little bit already. It happens, and it's basically, I think, unavoidable to some degree. Like you can't function like at your sort of best all the time. You have periods, whether it's one day here, one day there, or like weeks at a time maybe, where it's impossible to keep up to like your sort of best performance standard, you know?
Yeah, we see it like also firsthand. We're not like, we're content creators in a way. We're not like super famous or anything, but at least personally, I notice how you can manipulate what you put online in a way that it seems like everything is always good. Look at me, I'm doing so many things. But actually, like, I'm literally just posting the things that I do maybe once in a while, and then I have content for other things, right? And it's like, it's kind of scary because I have people messaging me as well, saying like, oh my god, you do so many cool things. And maybe I'm here being like I feel like I'm a potato, honestly. I just share some things that I think are gonna be cool and stuff, and I see how people might be influenced kind of like in a way that, oh, like, look at this person is so cool, I'm not doing enough kind of way. I'm reading Kodic and he says, I think I struggle with consistency. I go through really good moments of consistency and I'm falling off for whatever reason. Yes, it's very relatable.
Definitely.
And sometimes my
Yes, I
brain
feel
just
that.
wants to sleep. I get it. I get it. Adana says, oh, I definitely struggle. I try to think of the future and how rewarding it would be to converse with other people who speak my target language the same way I do in my native language. Yes, definitely. We're going to talk about this in a minute. Motivation is key. That's what keeps me going too. Cody says, hi from Jamaica. Hey, Jamaican squad in chat. Yes.
Yes, amazing.
Yes, Cody is from Jamaica, but now she's in Paris. So international Jamaican squad in chat, I guess. Interesting.
Global Jamaican.
We also, like, Ray was supposed to be with us today. Ray's in Jamaica right now, right? Or are they?
Yes, yeah, they're in Jamaica.
They're in Jamaica, so their connection wasn't very good these days, and that's why they couldn't participate. But yes, we have strong ties with Jamaica.
Yes, we're
here at the
inseparable.
Global. We actually were in Jamaica like 2 months ago. So insert clip here. No, I'm just kidding.
New story.
No, but we were in Jamaica. It was awesome. So I would say, speaking about this again, definitely we're talking about motivation. Motivation is the key for consistency, because it's that thing that, you know, when you have to do these small steps every day, it's very easy to lose interest, because you don't see the big picture in a way. You just see
that was exactly what I was gonna say.
Yes. You don't see like the small like you only see the small parts that you're doing every day, and it can become very tedious, and you can be bored and stuff.
It becomes like a chore that you sort of, where you get tunnel vision, and it feels like hard work, and you don't see or feel the progress that you're actually making towards sort of your actual goals.
Definitely. It's hard to see that small progress every day. So we're going to talk about this later. Shaban Abina says, in my country, in Algeria, Africa, it's an African country. We learn Arabic as first language and French as second one. And also they teach us English since the age of 11. That's why now I'm fond of language, so I took Espanol. That's very nice. Aww. I'm glad. That's very nice. Cool. Also, it's cool. Like, I've always been a little jealous of people that learn many languages when they're children, because I think
like people who come from like countries that have multiple first or second languages, kind of thing. Official languages. It's very cool.
That's usually also kind of sad, because historically there's probably there's a history of colonialism or something usually when this happens.
Colonialism is
so, but
always
in exchange, at least little consolation. Can you say little consolation? You get to know many languages, I guess. Which is, in today's society, is definitely a plus. Like, you can get so many rewards just by being able to know languages. So I would say yes.
Motivation.
So
as someone, about just going back to the main topic of motivation, is like I have ADHD, so, and one of the sort of side effects of that is that I am very bad when it comes to intrinsic motivation, like motivating myself to actually do things. So I very easily get sort of I lose track of sort of, well, let's say I mislay my passion a lot, or like I lose motivation quite easily, where like I'm constantly drawn to like shiny, this is shiny, I want this is what I'm gonna be focusing on, and then a week later I'm like, what happened? Not like it peters out to nothing, but so that's definitely something I struggle with a lot, is intrinsic motivation. So therefore I'm trying my best to really sort of be more like basically be more reliant on like extrinsic motivation, like outside things outside myself to help sort of keep myself in check, because otherwise I know for a fact that I'm going to slip off and I'm going to lose interest.
Yes, this is definitely definitely I would say that we're going to talk about this extensively today as well. Accountability and community support are also key topics. Also, somebody asked Gamse, hello, by the way, what languages they can speak. So I am from Italy and I can speak Italian, English and Japanese, and I dabble into many different languages. Currently my main learning language is Mandarin, but I dabble also into Korean, Swedish and French. So these are the languages that I'm into. What about you, Elmo? Do you want to say?
Well, I'm from Sweden. If you can't tell, that's the Swedish flag. I also have this handy little cup here so that I don't forget where I'm from. Very helpful. So I speak Swedish, English, Japanese at a fluent to a fluent level, or at least some degree of fluency. We're not going to talk about fluency today, but I also dabble, or my current focus is Mandarin, which I'm probably sort of A1-ish, so I'm very beginner, but I'm getting better and better, and I can basically...
I think you're going towards A2 though, I feel.
Oh yeah, maybe. I can like string basic sentences together and express myself, kind of thing. So that's very nice. I also dabble from time to time in Korean and Italian as well.
Yeah.
Because Anna is a huge influence.
Yeah. Also, well, and so many people said that they want to start learning Italian, and I feel so flattered. It's so nice.
Yeah. Oh, and I can also I can read and understand Norwegian and Danish as well, because I'm Swedish. So that's one of the sort of perks of knowing a Scandinavian language.
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, I can kind of understand Spanish for the same reason. So, Shabana Mina says, losing motivation is normal. We're humans being, and we seek the rewards to continue to think the milieu. I don't know what that is. Milieu? What does that mean?
Environment.
Environment plays a very important role to keep going. Thank you very much.
Definitely.
Yes, hello. Korean words. If you can keep the chat in English for now, since we have people from all over the world, and we have also people that cannot speak Korean. Let's keep the chat in English so everybody understands. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ray is not here today, otherwise they would understand. But anyways,
yes.
Sad. Yes, so we were saying motivation is a good thing, and also definitely environment and community. Yes, so we're going to talk about this from now. Thank you very much. I learned also Italian. Do you have an own channel where you speak in Italian for improving my skills? I don't have my own channel where I speak Italian, but there are some videos here on the Gladly Global channel where you can see I explain Italian a little bit, and also vlogs where I only speak Italian, so you can find those in our Italian playlist. Actually, I can send a link to that. In the meantime, if you want to speak about how you keep your motivation, Elmo, it would be nice.
Yeah, so how I keep my motivation up is basically there are quite a few steps that I alternate in between depending on sort of my current situation. But for the most part, when it comes to studying itself, I tend to very much be dependent on constantly looking for sort of new sources to study with. Whether that's I'm not very reliant on textbooks in any way, shape, or form. So if you're looking for textbook recommendations, then you're talking to the wrong person. Because I love to use native language sources, which of course there are native language textbooks, but once again, I'm not a textbook kind of person. My brain just does not appreciate learning through textbooks. So I am constantly looking for new videos, films, shows, music in whatever target language I'm in, and then I will sort of So it's very important that I keep sort of updating my roster of resources, because otherwise I will get completely bored and I will lose all motivation to do so. So yeah, keeping a sort of fresh, sort of constantly looking for new sources to use in my studying. And then there's also, well, obviously we have such a wonderful community over on Discord, and if you're not there already, then you should definitely join. There's a link in the description if you would like to, because we have access to study rooms and so on. So, and there's always people in there. So whenever you feel like low motivation, you need someone to like push you along, even not like talking to someone, but just knowing that somebody's there, like doing their best, really like inspires me to like do the same thing. I'm like, oh my God, this person is amazing. They're always here. Like they're working so hard. And so that really does a lot to sort of motivate me, as well as obviously we both do live streams on Twitch, like co-working streams, where which is sort of well, it's more of that sort of same the same side of the coin in that sense, where that is so helpful, because for one thing, if you're streaming and if you're the center of attention, then you can't really you can't slack off because people are watching you. Like so
yes.
So depending on how badly you're procrastinating, that can be such a huge help. Or even if you're in like a study room, like in Discord server or wherever else, like just turning your camera on or whatever, just really helps me keep sort of keep myself in check and focused.
Like on the Discord server, we have, for the people that are not very familiar, we have a library section where we have voice channels. Those are basically like places where you can enter, and for the library, everybody is muted because it's a library, and it's the place where we go when we want to feel accountable for studying. The link for the Discord server is in the description of the video. By the way, you can find it there. And when we're in a voice channel like that, I saw people turning on the camera because feeling watched make them feel like they have to study. Or I saw people sharing their screen, for example, to show other people what they're doing so they don't slack off. And we also use Forest is another thing that we use, so we don't use the phone while we're studying. So there are many things that you can do to feel more like I have to do this now, today. And in our community, and I love it for that. Voglio ascoltare la ragazza che parla italiano. Okay, yeah. We do, for now, let's speak in English, but we can definitely speak in Italian another time. Also, for example, on the Discord server, we have practice events, so we can practice different languages. We have our language leaders who plan events where we do language practice, which is very nice. You guys mix languages sometimes without noticing it. Yes, we do. Yes, we do, definitely.
Yes, definitely. It's one of the side effects of speaking so many languages is that it's hard to stick to one language. So especially, yeah.
For me, I don't mix it too much. Like I don't mix. There are some things that I always say in certain languages, but like I would say if I know that my like the person in front of me, I always want to mix languages. So if I know that the person in front of me can speak another language I'm speaking, like Elmo, I would probably don't stop myself from saying words in other languages. Instead, so it's free. It's a freeing it's a freeing experience for me because I don't have to search for words in the right language. I can just say them. So especially when I was in Japan, I was like, so did you go to the konbini to get the cup ramen or something like that? And like it just makes you like it's really a freeing experience. Otherwise, on the contrary, like when I'm speaking with a monolingual person, I have to stop myself all the time and be like, what's the word in my language all the time? And
same.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like it's uncomfortable. But And that's why I like to surround myself with people that at least can speak English and Italian as well if they can. But I'm talking because I'm in Italy at the moment. It's so hard for me to conversate without using English right now.
Yeah, me too. I noticed that. I noticed that yesterday. I just randomly talked to one of my neighbors yesterday for like the first time ever, and I was like trying to explain something about my major, and I'm like I couldn't think, or couldn't think of the Swedish word.
Yeah.
So I just threw in the English because like otherwise I would stand there for 10 minutes not being able to like remember the words.
Yeah.
So I do mix my languages, but I don't think like it's not subconscious. I'm definitely aware whenever I'm mixing languages, because it's often because I cannot think of a word in a specific language.
Yeah, it's like like it. I never. Oh freak! I was talking in a different language. I didn't realize.
Yeah, no, that never happens.
I'm very conscious of it. So, but I decide not to care sometimes. So it depends.
Yeah.
Like, I have some things
or
that
if I
I
accidentally
only.
slip.
Yeah.
Yes,
No, I mean.
sorry, if I like slip into another language, I'll go back and like explain what I meant.
Yeah,
like,
definitely. I mean.
like, oh, sorry.
No, it happens for some things. Like for now when I say like ouch, the word ouch, I only say it in Japanese because
Yeah, me too. That's such a standard.
I don't know why, but it's like that kind of thing that is just like action reaction.
It feels more satisfying in Japanese.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it
so
feels more natural. Yeah.
I could force myself to start saying it in Italian or English. So stopping the Japanese input and start saying it in another language, but I don't want to. I don't want to train myself to do that. I just, who cares, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, as I
said, you say how do you say it in Italian?
Aya.
How do you say it? Aya.
Aya, or ai.
Okay.
It's the same in.
Yeah, it's I in Swedish too.
Yeah, it's the same in Korean as well, which I find very amusing for some reason.
That's funny.
I don't know why.
I didn't know that.
Amina says, so I'm going to share my humble experience with you. Humble experience, baby. Feel free to say anything at any time, by the way, don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I divided my time to exercise Italiano and Spanish together because they are similar since I master French, so I learned them. And Mandarin, I took it apart because it's so tough. Okay, you decided not to study it because it's so tough. I see. We're gonna talk about like studying multiple languages at the same time another time. I think we talked about it in the past, but I feel people are very interested.
We probably have a video. We probably have videos on it as well. Honestly.
Yeah, we should search over on the Glad Global channel. We have a ton of stuff that we also forgot that we made because, by the way, new videos on YouTube are coming.
It's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, we've been taking a long break from YouTube other than these live streams because we are improving everything else. Basically, if you're interested, we have a website, we have a coffee where we have a shop. You can buy our Polyglot magazine, and we have the Discord server. All the socials are amazing. So feel free to follow us everywhere. We're improving all those parts, and YouTube kind of takes a lot of time, but we're starting again very soon, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, so let's see. When I'm speaking Italian, I didn't know some words. Then I say the words in English, but have the definition in German in my head. In addition to that, my English grammar is like the German grammar. Oh my god, German. I've never studied German, but I'm pretty sure it's not that similar to English.
No, because German is verb final, right?
But because sure. German has all the...
So the sentence structure is different.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know, I need Tanya-chan to help me with that. I don't know German.
Yes.
Where are you, Tanya-chan? Wait, I want to see if they're still teaching how to make kimchi in the server. No, they're not. Okay. So anyways, what is it that I was saying? Yeah, no, speaking about actual today's topic, listen, I also noticed, sorry Elmo, we're talking on, you cannot see me, by the way, you can only hear me. So, wait, can I actually, Yeah, okay. Now you can see me. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so
No,
anyways,
it's okay.
So about motivation, I want to say this because I noticed that I can only be consistent when I have a clear goal in mind. That could be an exam, or it could be a certification exam or something like that. And that is like what motivates me a ton. Like that's how I really like can divide my time and organize how to study. Otherwise, if it's like more general for like, even if I have a holiday or something, it's very hard for me to sit down and study, because in that case I feel I don't have control on how much stuff I should study. In a way, it seems too much and I get overwhelmed. So
Interesting. Right.
and even like talking with people in a way doesn't seem to do much for me, because I know they can speak different languages. So I always like struggle to find myself a way to to find a way to motivate myself to actually study every day because of that, if it's not an exam. So what
Interesting.
yes, what I do is I actually force myself to take exams. So I would do like the certifications. Wow. Right, that's the same for Japanese. I was saying to you, there's no way for me to study Japanese unless I actually like sign up for an exam for the certification. So yeah, that's like something that I found out works for me, and I guess like the answer is different from person to person.
Definitely, because that wouldn't work for me at all. Because I so like I have never taken a like language exam in my life, and I don't really want to, because I don't feel like it's necessary for like my personal sort of the goals I set up for myself when it comes to language, because I tend to focus on communication before anything, which is often a part that is like most language exams don't even have a speaking portion.
Yeah.
So technically, since I'm not very interested in sort of the like more academic or not necessarily academic, but the sort of the non-verbal portions of the language, of the more formal parts, it's not really something I prioritize in my own language learning. So that's one reason why like that's not something for me, and it wouldn't really, and rather than having a positive impact on my studying, it would probably have the opposite effect of making me not want to study, because I would feel like really, really dull and so on.
Yeah. To the people in chat, how do you keep your motivation up? What are your techniques? We're curious. There's definitely like, it depends on the person. I'm a very analytic person when it comes to languages, so I like to have very like clear idea of what I should study, and based on how much time I have, I like to organize how I study it, and like that is something that I like. It's not necessarily how to say. It depends also like on what makes you feel safe or like at ease in a way, because I say that like for me, for example, like knowing, let's say I have a grammar book and I have to study these grammar points before the exam, so I have taught pages for 30 days. I would do like 3 pages a day or something like that, and I will make cute notes with all those kind of things, and I will organize all the pages on my own notes. So like all these kind of things make me feel at ease, make me feel like I'm studying in a way that makes me feel like I'm learning, which is not necessarily like, depending on your goals, it's not necessarily the most effective way to being able to communicate immediately with somebody, for example. But if it's for an exam, it makes sense. And I found like I'm always a very communicative person. I love to speak with people, but I love to have that base of security that studying academically or analytically gives me, So for me, it works better if I have, I have that base in front of me, because if I hear a word that I've studied, at least like I know already, kind of like I've heard it before. So that's something that makes me feel at ease. But this changes from person to person, I say.
Definitely.
Yes, I'm reading chat, sorry. How long have you been studying each language you're learning, have learned? At least, so the one that I studied for less time, where I'm fluent. So Japanese I've studied for 8 years. English I've studied 20 years. And Italian 27, I say. And I've been studying Swedish not for long, I think but not consistently. Like all the languages I'm studying at the moment, I'm not studying consistently because of everything that is going on. I'm not a student anymore, so I literally like just find time once a week to study. So I feel like the time is stretched. I don't want to say I've been studying for like 5 years, but I am level A1, because actually those 5 years are not every day, are like once a week or something like that, right? So time is kind of like not, how to say, like I could speak Japanese after 3 years I've studied Japanese, because I was studying Japanese 8 hours a day, and I'm not kidding. So, but like other people might be studying Japanese for 10 years and cannot speak a word because it's a stretched time, and like they're not practicing every day, right?
True, that's a very important distinction, where like the amount of years or time you spend with a language does not have to equate to a certain level of fluency at all.
Yeah.
They're basically like some people can like become, well, let's say like Ray learned Swedish, went from like A1 to C1 in like a year.
Yeah.
And like that's
but how many hours a day were they studying Swedish though?
Many. So even if I say because I've been learning Japanese for about 7 years actually, but that has not been that doesn't mean I've been sitting down like 5 hours a day every day for 7 years and learning the language. Definitely not. So Japanese about 7 years. Where was that?
There's also that thing like you never finish studying a language unless like in a way. So I've been studying for 7 years, but I think I was fluent after 3, and then I was just like adding to my vocabulary in a way. Anyways, like you never finish. So I learned Japanese in 7 days. Like those kind of people are lying to you. They're like
they are.
Now every stream we need the section where we spite to the people that do like clickbaity things. Also because maybe you've learned to say some things in 7 days, but I assure you another week passes and you forgot everything because you didn't use it consistently. So excuse me. All right, sorry, we need that section every time. Sorry, let's read chat a little bit. I keep up my motivation by watching videos in the language I'm learning without subtitles, and assess how much I understand. Oh, definitely, that's
same.
That's good. That's good also, because if you don't understand, you're like, yo, I need to study more. What the freak? When I can't understand without subs, it's very frustrating and it usually motivates me to get back to studying. Yes, I want to say it's not like I like this kind of motivation because in this case it's very safe. So you're listening and you're like, I cannot understand. How is this? I need to study more, right? I used to force myself to speak with people, and in a way, it like in that situation you don't have much time to react. So you don't understand, and you're like, and maybe you don't have any other language in common, and that's like the worst situation you can be in. And so when in that situation you cannot understand, that is like the highest motivation I can tell you. That is like the kind of like embarrassment that you feel, or like frustration when you cannot communicate with somebody. That is like the top level motivation in a way. Because you're like, I'm never gonna embarrass myself like that anymore. I'm never gonna feel this frustrated in my life. I'm gonna study.
Right.
I'm gonna be the best of my class, because I'm gonna, so that's, but that is not for everybody. I understand how it can be, like, it can cause anxiety to many people. So I'm not saying put yourself in that situation. I'm saying that's also a technique.
And I mean it tends to have a better, like objectively, like empirically, it is very useful, because not only do you sort of embarrass yourself so that you'll remember the mistakes that you make, or the sort of where you're lacking, but also the fact that, let's see if my brain will catch up to my tongue. Give me a second. Damn it! I lost it. I lost it. Wait. Damn it! I hate it when that happens. Always. Let me say what I want to say, please.
No pressure. Don't worry.
No, it's proven, because there we go. Because when you are forced to sort of speak, like conversate in a language that you're learning, you basically only have access to sort of the top level. Like if you imagine that you have the language on multiple levels, you only have access to the very, like, the most superficial sort of things that you've learned or internalized, where you might technically know what to say if you get enough time to think about. But when you're in a sort of situation where you have to react instantly and respond to something like a prompt or a question, whatever, then you basically obviously you don't have sort of the time to really grasp for what you know to be the answer, despite the fact that you do know it.
I say this to my students. I say this to my students all the time when they struggle or they make errors, and I'm like, but I knew that, right? So like the thing is, when you're speaking, literally is the least time you can have to react to things. So that's like an extreme situation to put yourself into. So I always like say, when you start practicing a language and you want to communicate with people, start by texting. And then when you feel confident enough, then you can start speaking with them. When you know that they're not gonna judge you or make fun of you and stuff like that. Of course, put yourself in a safe situation. Always. You don't want to be traumatized and never learn a language again because of it. So let me read some chat, by the way.
Yeah, we have a lot of things in chat.
I feel like, and keep it coming. We love when that happens. I feel like that too, because I took 1 hour a week lesson in Mandarin Chinese for 5 years, but rarely did any practice outside of class. So I'm still at beginner level. Yeah, that's happened so many times. The thing is, like, it's always, whenever you take classes for a language, that can bring you that, like, only that far. And what matters is everything you do outside class. That could be studying on your own, but mostly finding native speakers to speak with or communicate with, watching movies, watching YouTube videos, listen to podcasts. I don't know, like making your own like vocabulary library in your own mind in a way, and keep it practice, because that's the only thing. When you cannot grasp for a word, it's because you didn't say it enough times, or you didn't write it enough times.
Exactly.
So like the only thing is like repetition, and that's why it's very, like, if you don't like to use flashcards, for example. I love using flashcards, honestly, but that's me.
I don't.
Maybe I'm a very weird person, but if you don't...
No, you're not. I think that's very common. It's more common to use flashcards than not to use flashcards.
Probably. But no, liking it is probably uncommon. I would say that, like, probably if you don't like doing that, then speak with people about a topic, like find people that love a topic in common with you. Let's say you like skateboarding a lot, so find skateboarders out there and practice language. Find a Twitch live stream about skateboarding. We were doing this new technique, it's amazing, where you basically find Twitch streams in a specific language and you write in chat to them like, hello, how are you doing? And they answer to you speaking, right? So you not only like practice your writing in a way, so you're kind of like it's a safe way to speak with somebody, right? Because you're writing, you can think, but also you exercise your listening because this person thinks you're a native as well, so they're gonna speak a normal pace. And actually it's very good. I recommend it very much.
No, it's great. It's great.
What do you prefer, British English or American English? What do you mean?
I would definitely say British English. In terms of speaking, I think I'm a bit all over the place, but for the longest time I used to speak like exclusively in like British accent, British English, but then I sort of toned it down for whatever reason. So now I think I'm fairly neutral, but I spell everything the British way still.
I love every accent. I'm sorry, if you're a native speaker or not, and you speak in English with an accent, which everybody does because there's no such thing as no accent. I love it nonetheless. This said, British accent is cool. I like it. I'm not like, there are many different kinds of British accents, but in general,
and there are many different kinds of American accents.
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like British accent is kind of like hard to get. Like I cannot speak with a British accent, so I feel like, oh, it's so cool. Like you can do a thing that I cannot do. So that's why I like it more. It's easier to simulate an American accent than a British accent, I would say, probably.
See, I actually think I can't do a good American accent at all, honestly, I think.
Well, I'm not gonna try right now, but like I think because it's easier to roll the R than to say, like, instead of saying car, you say car, right? With the R. Not rolling the R, sorry, to do the R thing. The American R thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The rhotic. Yeah.
What is it called? The
rhoticity.
Rhoticity? Okay. You're expert.
Yeah, so American English is rhotic, but most British, not all British accents at all, like Irish and Scottish, for example, are rhotic.
Yeah.
But sort of the sort of received pronunciation and so on is non-rhotic. So that's where you say like car and
car. How you feel? I feel better, like that.
Better.
It's amazing. I could never like speak like that all the time. It's, I guess it also comes to a place. It comes from a place of clear, like to being. When I want to be clear about a word, I tend to pronounce more letters than I can, like the most letters than I can. So that's why I prefer to pronounce the R as a like better instead of better, because I feel like people could not understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true. Like for foreigners, well, many foreigners, or I should say second, people who speak English as a second language, have more difficulty understanding British accents or non-rhotic accents.
Yeah, because it feels like you're leaving some letters out, right? So
no, exactly.
All right, let's read a little bit.
It's less.
Yeah.
Yes, we have some.
To keep motivation, there is no a secret except the hope to be able to use those languages further, as for getting a better job or promotion, or use it while traveling. Definitely, I think like being able to communicate with people is the most motivation you can have, especially if you, if these people are dear to you. So definitely, instead of like travel or like work are good motivations, but the best motivation you can have is when somebody is dear to you, like your partner or your friend, and you want to communicate with them effectively. That's the best motivation you can have. What do you think of passively learning languages to maintain consistency? Yes. And just one word, yes.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, like passive listening or keeping yourself immersed on the daily and not actively studying, because, you know, life happens. Yes.
No, life definitely happens, and I
Yeah.
think it's super, super important and useful to do this. And I cannot recommend it enough to anybody because not only do you definitely do need a balance. Like, you need to both like use the language actively, but passively studying does so much more than people think.
Yeah.
Because like it sort of helps you really internalize the language in a different way that you can't do if you're only sort of studying actively.
Yeah, I would say like when you've heard something before, it's so much easier to like when you hear it again in actual like life situation, it's so much easier to remember it after that, because you're like, oh yeah, oh, that's the thing that I've heard that time, and now I heard it again.
Yes, and I know
That's
how to
how you
respond. I know how to respond.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you're not conscious of it, but when you're listening to things passively, you're getting used to the pace of the language, to the music of the language, the music of the words themselves, how people react to things depending on what you're watching or listening to, and like those little things are what make languages real, and you can only acquire that by listening how native speakers act or say things, right? So definitely yes
all the way.
Yes, I sometimes in the morning when I cannot, like sometimes I feel like I wake up a little early and I'm like, I'm gonna lay in bed for another 30 minutes or something like that, and I put on like a podcast in some language and I just listen to it, even if I don't understand a thing. I just put it on. I did it with Swedish so much. And Swedish people just speaking, I'm like, yes. And sometimes you pick up a word and you're like, that word, I know, I've heard it before,
right.
You know, right?
Yeah.
And it's so good.
I just on it's amazing. And just on the topic, to go back to British and American accents, since I've been kind of frustrated with the fact that I've lost my accent over the years, like my Britishness, and so on. So I've actually started listening to like, so every morning I listen to like the BBC, like Radio 4 or World Service or something, like just in the mornings to sort of, while I do sort of my morning routine or make breakfast or whatever, and it's like nice and cozy. And so, definitely do that with like any language that you're interested in like learning or mastering, getting sort of both for getting used to, and then you can also use it for like shadowing, where like
definitely
try and get your mouth accustomed to the pronunciation.
But
and
it's
so on.
definitely the best way
wonderful.
when you know a language already and you want to maintain fluency in a way. It's definitely the best way to just keep it there, like in your head, and like remind yourself some words that maybe you're not using that much or something. And I do that all the time. Yes.
Me too.
I agree with you, Anna, about embarrassment being a wonderful motivation. It happened with me before and it's not fun. But then you tell yourself, that's not gonna happen again. I tell you, you're like...
Definitely.
You're like making a pact with yourself. You're like, never again. I'm never gonna feel like that again. I'm gonna study.
Of course, it does happen, but in a different context. Like there's a different word that you forget, or etc.
Yeah.
Let's see. Adana, as an American, I'm with you on that.
British accents are more fun. Honestly, they are. Like they're so different, also like from each other, and it's so nice. Even though like I cannot recognize, I am so bad with accents. The other day I was speaking with a
British
person.
Accents, so
I am so bad.
I love them. And I'm like, yes, this is.
I will tell you an
accent.
embarrassing story, because I was speaking with a person yesterday, and they were talking, and I was like, oh my god, I love your accent. I was like so into it. I was like, are you from the north of the UK? And they were like, no, actually I'm Irish. And I was like,
that's a funny story, actually. Oh, no, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. Go. I was just frustrated. I was just being frustrated. Don't worry. There's delay, by the way. There's delay between me and Elmo. That's why we talk on top of each other sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Go on,
I've managed to make some Japanese friends here where I live. They're exchange students, so we have like language exchange meetups like every week, and one of the like non-Japanese people is Irish, and the first time I ever met him, I immediately said, like, because we were talking randomly about, like, he was like, man, I'm so much more social here in Sweden than I am like at home, without mentioning where he was from. And so I was like, oh, it must be the Irish charm. And he was like, how did you know I was Irish? And I was
Well,
like, I could tell by your accent,
yeah,
dude.
no, yeah, definitely. Well, in that case, like, I wouldn't be too surprised. People, though, like, I think my accent is so messed up that people think I'm like from anywhere but not Italy for some reason. So
Oh yeah.
but I think, yeah, it would be cool to be recognized in a way, but in another way I'm like, no, I'm a global person. I don't have accent.
Yes.
No, but yeah, no, I get it. If I try an American
Bryony says
accent,
that-
I sound
yeah,
like
sorry.
I'm from New Zealand, Australia. Bryony! Wait, so we have a live stream on my
wanna
on my
hear that.
Twitch channel tonight. Wait. We have a live stream on my Twitch channel today. Bryony, you need to be there because I want to hear that. I want to hear that. I want to
I
hear
wanna
that.
hear that
Oh
too.
my god.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna
Yes,
be there.
please. Oh my god, I want to get my Scottish accent back, 𝕚𝕚𝕚. Listen, yes,
I want to get my Scouse accent back. Honestly, I miss my Scouse accent. I need to stop practicing again.
I feel
I used to, because
no, I cringe at
used to stick
myself
in-
whenever
in-
I have an accent. Like I try to make an accent because in my mind it sounds so good, but like when I speak it, I'm like, that's not it. That's not it at all. But
well,
Mhm.
yeah, I get that. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I can't say for certain that like any of my sort of imitated accents have ever been like accurate. But at the same time, like, I felt really proud of it, and I felt like, man, I'm nailing this. So but I don't actually know that. And once again, that's definitely not the case anymore, because now I'm just all over the place. I only speak idiolect at the moment, which is the sort of personal dialect that everybody has.
yes.
Because, like, even if you two people from the same place don't necessarily talk the same way,
Yeah,
etc.
no, that's true. That's true.
but yeah,
Also, let's
But yeah,
speak
no,
about
I d-
this.
But I definitely want to get my Scouse accent back.
Yeah, I cannot do a real Italian accent anymore, because the only Italian accent I can do
Oh.
is the fake Italian accent that American people do. Na 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 na, like that. I don't know, like so. But I have Italian students, and like they sound so Italian all the time, but not the fake American Italian accent. It's like literally like Italian. And I'm like, yo, that's so cool. That's an Italian accent there. I'm weird, I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyways, another thing that I want to talk about is how to use like community in a way. So we were talking about live streaming and keep yourself accountable, like sharing what you're doing and stuff like that. But I don't think, like, definitely shouldn't be putting yourself out there that much all the time. Definitely, I wanted to talk about finding study buddies, because that's another thing that is very interesting. It doesn't have to like be public. You can also find one person, and that
Yes.
person gonna make you feel accountable, right? Just maybe going, even if it's like in your city or something, going to the library to study together, or like asking each other questions or something like that is also a good thing, in my opinion. Let's see. I want to get my Scottish accent. Oh, I read that already. Sorry.
Yeah, you read that.
I
already.
That happens to me all the time. I'm like, yo, oh, new message. I read it and I'm like, ah. Yo.
It's okay.
Okay. But yes, I sometimes I get a thing about accents, because you want to sound as native as you can all of the time, right?
Right.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
But we don't realize that native is many different things. So everywhere, like in different parts of the country, people are gonna speak in different ways, right? So you need to pick something. But
Yeah, you need to pick an accent.
yeah,
That's very
if-
important. You need to pick a
if
single accent.
you want it to do that, because I would also say that's not really important. Like, people,
No, it's secondary. It's secondary. It's not something you should prioritize, but once you get to like a comfortable level and it's something like you feel like you want to work on your accent, then you can start thinking about, okay, what kind of accent do I actually enjoy in this language, whatever. Like,
Yes.
how do I want to actually speak? But that's definitely secondary. So
Yes,
once you're at a
definitely.
comfortable level.
Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, that's also another thing. I never cared about accents that much when I'm speaking, because I prioritize like, yeah, as you said, like fluency, being like quick in answering, and sometimes like my Italianness comes out, especially when I'm like when I'm speaking normally and I'm very calm, I might take some time to say things with a like specific accent or something like that. But if I am like very passionate about something and I'm angry, then my Italianness come out very much, right? So that's also another thing to keep in mind. You shape the language based on like your personality as well, and what is you, and that's beautiful. I would say like that makes you yourself. You don't have to like conform or anything. I think that's also a beautiful thing.
No.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the best things about speaking multiple languages, in my opinion, is the fact that like you don't like where like a person with a certain like monolingual background would be sort of the archetype of a person from that place.
Yeah.
But you don't have to conform in that way, because
definitely.
that
You're
is the
not
freedom
that
that is
person.
awarded you.
First of all, you're not that person.
Right.
You're not monolingual
You're not
from that
person.
country.
You're
so.
not monolingual. You're not from that place. Like you don't have any reason to sort of you can be sort of an outsider in that sense, as long as it's something you're comfortable with, of course.
Yeah.
But so you shouldn't necessarily. It's not something you should feel guilty about.
Yes, definitely, 100%. You yourself. So, guys, when you started the learning, did you take it as a first purpose for career? I mean, did you study literature of language at university, or you just took it for advertising, or you just took it for advertising? Can you please explain a little bit what you mean with took it for advertising? Just because I'm not sure.
I think they meant. I'm guessing they mean, like they want to get into advertising, but in that language, like as a career.
Yeah,
that's my assumption. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. I'm eating chocolate because I'm low on sugar. I ate very early. That's
good. No, keep your blood sugar up. That's good.
Yeah.
But I never studied a language for any sort of potential career ever.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not something I've ever done, and has never been a sort of motivation for me to learn any language.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it all depends on you. Everybody has their own sort of reasons or goals with why they're studying a language. But for me, no, it never has been.
Mm-hmm. I never thought about, in a way, like, I've always used the languages for any career that I've ever took, actually.
Yeah.
But I never, like, started learning a language thinking I want to work like that, so I'm learning language for that. So, in a way, like, it always started with passion, and then, in a way, you can monetize your knowledge, right? So,
yeah.
Like, I teach, for example, right now. Sorry, I shouldn't talk and eat at the same time.
That's okay.
But, yeah, okay, I'm finished. So, I was like... So, like, I teach, and for example, I use Japanese because my students are Japanese sometimes. So, it's sometimes if you have to explain something, you can switch the language and explain in Japanese. And that's actually a very good thing for me, because a lot of students need that kind of reassurance. And so it's part of my job right now. I could also probably teach Japanese if I wanted to. But that was never my first intention. Definitely.
Right.
100%. I just wanted to study for myself.
So, yes. Hope that answers your question, Chabani.
Yeah. But I studied Japanese at university, so it was kind of like overkill in a way. But then I lived in Japan, and the fact that I had
you worked in Japan.
Yeah.
You did work in Japan.
The fact that I had a degree in Japanese definitely opened a lot of doors for me. In Japan, I was working there. I found job kind of fairly easily in a way because of all the languages I could speak. So I would say do it. Like, use your languages. Don't be humble. Even if you learned by
Yeah,
yourself.
And
Definitely.
and exactly. And
Mhm.
yeah, no. So even if you don't learn a language specifically to work in a culture or country where that language is used, you should not be shy about actually like using it to your advantage.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Don't be humble. And I think
Be proud.
be proud. Be proud of having your mind
proud of
constantly
yourself.
full of words that you cannot use because they're in a different language. Or you can, I don't know. But like me and Elmo, we have a lot of things in languages in common, so it's very fun to speak when we speak. Also with Ray, actually, it's the same for me. Because sometimes I feel you know, I can just say whatever I want and they will understand. Also because we have similar life experiences in a way. We lived abroad, etc., so we get it. It's that sometimes I speak with people that are monolingual and I feel like even if they are like Italian people like me, I feel like I am an alien. They are an alien or I'm an alien, or we're both aliens, like, honestly. I feel so like, woohoo, what is going on all the time here? But like my sister's boyfriend is English and Italian, so it's half English, half Italian, both. I would say double citizenship. So so sometimes we literally start speaking in English and he answers in Italian and I speak in English, then he answers in English, I answer in Italian, based on like the quickest one that comes to our mind. And that's how I like to communicate with people. I don't want to feel, you know, like, you get it? Like, I like to feel free to choose whatever. And like, I hate when some people, like, they know English very well and I'm talking, I cannot think about the Italian word and I say it in English and people are like, oh, you're like flexing the fact that you know English so well, using English words all the time. You can just say it in Italian, you know. And I'm like, that's not what I'm trying to do.
But I couldn't think of it.
You know?
That's true. That is very frustrating. Where like, and especially since like it's very like if you know multiple languages, then you will have certain like, depending on the topic of conversation, some languages will be easier to reach for than others because you will have a stronger sort of association with like that language and that topic, for example, or certain emotions depending on the conversation. Where certain languages are more emotive, or you express certain emotions more in a particular language than you do another one. And that's completely,
awkward
like,
is it? How awkward is it when you are like trying to say something in a different language and you're like, and you know you cannot say it, and then you start explaining what you want to say and the other person is weirded out.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Oh my god.
That's so interesting how certain languages don't even have like the same expression. Like there is no way to translate certain things or concepts in one language to another.
You know what?
That's weird. Like, how do you function?
I started not caring anymore, so I just say it. You know how in my streams I always say "otsukaresama desu."
Yes.
If people ask me what it means, I will explain. Otherwise, I will pretend it's just common knowledge and just say it. And,
that's good. I like that.
And like people might be wondering this for months and months, maybe, but like. If they don't ask, maybe like in the end they will understand what it means by exposure, which is good as well. But this is good, very good.
Oh yeah, free language learning.
Free language learning by exposure. So yeah, like those are like things that go on in our mind all the time. By the way, if you're wondering, I think everybody watching this is a polyglot already, or like can speak at least 2 languages. But even if you speak only 1 language, sometimes a word doesn't come out. And you're like, I know what I want to say, but I cannot remember the word for it, right? That happens.
No, exactly. Definitely.
There was that meme that said when you cannot remember a word, say I cannot remember the English word for it. So people will think you're a polyglot and not an idiot because you cannot remember words. I do that all the time. I did it all the time. With monolinguals, I'm like, I cannot remember the Italian word for it, and actually I don't remember the word in any language, and that happens to me.
I need to start using that one. That's good.
Yeah, for real. Like, I know there's a word for it, but what is it? What is it again? And frenetically searches on Google. What is that word? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is very interesting. Yes. So anyways, I think we're over 1 hour. So usually we end the live stream here. I wanted just to say in chat to everybody, if you want to ask last questions or last comments, you're free to write. Now is the time. Last
minute.
Now is the time. Now is the time. And in the meantime, I'm gonna say again that we are gladly global. We're gladly global. Polyglot gladly global.
GG.
Gladly global polyglots. This is a mouthful for real. Who came up with? No, I'm just kidding. Ray came up with it. No, I'm just kidding. Then Ray comes back and she's like, and they're like, well, how dare you? No, Gladly Global is a nice name. It's just hard to say for me. But
yes, no, it's hard for most people.
We are Gladly Global or
GG. It's Gladly Global. GG.
We're GG people, and we're a group of polyglots. We have people from all over the world, mainly Europe at the moment, but all over the world, and we speak about.
At least everybody's located in Europe.
Right now, yes, everybody's located in Europe, even if they come from different continents. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, but they're not all from Europe.
Yes.
Clarify.
So we speak about traveling, living abroad, learning languages, and our community is full of people that love these things as well. So if you're interested in joining the community on our social medias or on the Discord server, that's where you can be the best, like, involved in the community, definitely, because you can speak with everybody. And on our YouTube channel, of course, we also have Twitch live streams where we sleep together. Why was I saying that? I don't know. Where we study together.
Study together.
We don't sleep. I promise. We just study. We study.
No sleeping streams.
They're called co-working streams. So we use the Pomodoro technique. We study or work for number of minutes, and then we take a break, and then we study again, and we go on like that for a while. So if you're interested, all the links are in the descriptions. What else? We have a Polyglot magazine, we have a shop on Ko-fi, and you can donate on Ko-fi as well if you want to support us.
Yes.
I think, I don't know.
We love you if you do that. We love you even if you don't. But if you do, we love you an extra little bit.
An extra little bit. You did a little bit extra love. Anyways, yes. So that was it for today. I don't see any other questions or comments in chat. So I take this time to thank everybody who was here, and thank you for participating and interacting. Yes. We're gonna have another Polyglots Talk next month. Usually it's the first
Yes, these
Saturday.
are monthly if you didn't know.
Yes, it's written here, monthly. Monthly Gladly Global live stream. And every first Saturday of the month. So we're gonna announce this around on our socials and on Discord. You get pinged as well. You get tagged.
Make sure you follow us.
Make sure you follow us everywhere.
And join the community. Join the community, because everybody is really nice, and a lot of people here are from the community as well, so they're already in on the know. They already know how lovely it is.
Yes.
So if you're not there already, what are you waiting for?
Yes.
It's free.
Yes. All right. So that's pretty much wraps it up. Thank you everybody again, and
Thank you.
we will see you soon and around. Thank you for the stream. No, thank you for being here. Thank you very much. See you around.
Thank you, Ray. Other Ray.
Thank you, dears. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Ciao.
Bye.